last night I was at a coin scrum, and this is the first time in 4 months they actually put a health warning up on the board, saying we are not an IFA. You invest at your own risk. It's very high risk. That's the other thing. People at the moment, it is very high risk investments because it's unregulated. So I'm working with the London. I'll hopefully be working with the London Stock Exchange. They're looking at ways to use the ICO market. So we need to speak with regulators. We need to speak with lawyers and get a consensus, a sensible consensus as to how this market grows. And I personally think it's a great thing that I think it takes, 6 months to actually get an IPO up and off the ground. The beauty of this is, with an ICO or an ICO, is that you haven't, the time span is a couple of months. You haven't got to worry about VCs. You haven't got to worry, about your loss of equity and the control of your startup or your company. So there's a lot of issues. It's an unregulated space. I think that one of the biggest issues is what people are worried, because there's no investor protection at the moment. So there are lots of scams out there. Unfortunately, we're used to the Wild West, but that actually proves that it's going to be successful. When the criminals get out there and actually attack something that's good, it's going to come off eventually, because regulation will come. So therefore, I'm very optimistic about the ICO market. There's a lot of potential for fraud at the moment. Regulation doesn't actually get rid of it, but it does protect the consumer. And as I say, when I go to these Bitcoin and blockchain meetups and ICOs, they're very naive still, very naive, that they don't realise that as soon as they hit the retail customer, they will have to be regulated. So they're sailing very close to the wind. So this is where the lawyers are getting involved and actually looking, especially around the wording and things like that. So when regulation does come back, people will be hit retrospectively. So if you're thinking about ICO, do it very carefully and go to the right people, get the right advice. Basically that's really what I can say.